All I gotta say is this. Former Vice President Mike Pence is a freaking idiot. Wow. Look at it. Mike Pence wants to end Social Security, Medicare. Yeah, Mike Pence calls to end Social Security, Medicare. And I also heard he wants to end SSI, like SNAP, like food benefits as well too. Let's get to it.
Vice President Mike Pence says it is time to get rid of Social Security and Medicare, at least as we know it. Now, remember, just a few days ago, the President of the United States, Joe Biden, mentioned this during the State of the Union speech. He said, hey, I have a proposal. I'm not going to show anybody because I'm courteous. Republicans have been trying to get rid of Social Security for a very long time. They decided to heckle the President of the United States. Let me first go to Mike Pence. Here it is.
The size of our nation's economy is unsustainable. The last time this happened was after World War II. And the only way we got over it was through sound economic policies and a post-war booming economy. Now we literally have a paralysis in Washington, D.C. that says we're never even going to talk about reforming 70% of the federal budget. That's what entitlements, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, are all in that cash. And we simply are not going to restore the fiscal health of this nation by simply nibbling at the edges of the federal budget. I submit to you that we have to have a conversation about reforming entitlements in the days ahead.
Entitlements, you say. Former VP, you do realize the federal government makes no money. The federal government creates no revenue. They take the revenue that we create and then allocate or distribute the resources. No entitlement here. But once again, we go back to the dynamic of what?
Shit. Yeah. And here's the thing is too. I mean, when you work, say for many years and you retire, what do you get paid at? Social Security income. And you're supposed to have Medicare, Medicaid. Because what if you get sick or you go to the doctor's office? That stuff covers like that. What are you supposed to do? Pay on your pocket? It's like when you retire your work, what are you supposed to no longer get a paycheck? Come on. Elderly senior citizens rely on Social Security because that's the retirement benefit all the years they put in the work and they build it up like that. I mean, it's bad enough. I mean, we go to work and Uncle Sam and the government's butt fucking us in the ass and raping of our paychecks. You know, we put in all the hours like that.
Contrast. Republicans do want to take your Social Security and Medicare.
This is why this is my political benefits. You know, I've never liked Republicans, because they're all about themselves. They want to make the rich richer. They don't care about the poor, the hungry, the needy, the people that are homeless. They don't give a shit. Democrats has always been about the people, working for the people, helping the people, extending a hand to the people. The Republicans just want to take your money away as much as they can. I mean, they're no better than the damn IRS, straight up.
Privatize it so that their rich friends can get even richer.
Yep, a bingo.
While at the same time, not providing a service in which you deserve.
That's why I sit there saying my outtake is I don't like Republicans because they're about themselves. They're about putting a handout for their rich friends. That way they get tax exemption, they get benefits, they can do whatever they want like that. While they're going to dump you upside down, take your wallet, take your money, and laugh at you.
Now, does it need to be fixed? Of course, every governmental program
of course it needs to be fixed.
Fixing, tweaking, updating, etc. That's normative in the process of government maintenance. That's how it works. But when this happened, it should have been different. Here it is.
Some of my Republican friends want to take the economy hostage. I get it, unless I agree to their economic plans. All of you at home should know what those plans are. Instead of making the wealthy pay their fair share, some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Let me give you, anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy of the proposal.
Well, I did contact Joe Biden's office. I have not received a copy of their proposal. I do believe he has one. Why would a Republican give the proposal to the Democratic president of the United States. Well, that's because whoever gave that proposal, they know President Biden is an institutionalist. If you just tell Joe, hey, let's keep this off record, I'm going to send you something that will destroy millions of American lives. Just don't say anything. Be courteous. Don't mention my name. All of those Republicans who stood up would have received a sharp rebuttal from me, if I were president of the United States. So don't want to be, not trying to give you any ideas. Bottom line is Joe Biden should have been prepared for that moment. Should have had a website set up. Website can be called lionassrepublicans.com. You can find all of the commentary about how Republicans have tried to get rid of this program that they are acting as if they have not. They were clutching their pearl, as if something strange had been said during their State of the Union. Let's get into it. Former Vice President Mike Pence on Thursday called to end Social Security and Medicare and instead replace them with, as he called it, a better deal for younger Americans. Pence proposed keeping the current system in place for people who will retire in the next 20 years. It's about leadership, he says. We can replace the new deal with a better deal, and I'm going to be part of that conversation. Before ending the interview, Pence confirmed that he still is considering a 2024 presidential run. The former VP has been a longtime advocate of Social Security privatization, which was rejected during President George W. Bush's administration. All right, who's the king of debt, ladies and gentlemen? Personal debt and American debt? Yeah, you know, Donald Trump. President Donald Trump certainly lived up to his self-proclaimed status as king of debt during his term in office. The national debt spiked by $7 trillion during Trump's tenure.
Yeah, you know what Trump wanted to do when he was in the office? He didn't care about Medicare, Medicaid, social like that. He didn't care about homeless and setting up, shelters like that. He just wanted to build the wall, build the wall, build the wall. That's all he wanted to do, and have like a mass weapons instruction ready to go.
Yeah, messaging. The substance of
Plus, Trump is the only motherfucker who's ever been impeached twice in U.S. president history.
This is clear. Republicans are contrary to the general sentiment of most Americans. However, they remain an effective political class because of presentation and our lack thereof. Messaging is not complex, but it does require coordination, repetition, and staying on point. All right, my dear sister, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, with this debt ceiling fight looming, it puts us in a really interesting place because we're in a period of fiscal tightening. The IRS had a record collection year. We're watching the national deficit shrink, which isn't always a good thing because it can drive the private sector into deficit because you need money to make money. You need dollars out there in the economy to produce things of value and be productive and keep people employed. It puts us in a bad position when the national debt becomes too small. But we're in an interesting place with the Republican-controlled House because they're saying we're not going to raise the debt ceiling. It's putting the federal government in a position where then they have to decide what they're going to fund and not fund, or they decide to spend more than they're authorized to, both of which are entirely illegal, and it suggests we're heading towards a looming shutdown. And instead of saying, all right, let's look at what we've got going on here, let's do some budget reconciliation, they're saying, let's cut our most popular policies that people have paid into throughout their entire lives. It doesn't make any sense. The idea that they're entitlements and not something that people have worked towards is insane, because even if they weren't paying for their retirement in tax dollars, they're still producing things of value for American corporations throughout the entirety of their working lives. And so the idea that these corporations are then getting tax breaks and not paying into our public programs, it suggests that we're just robbing the working class, and people like Mike Pence and the Republicans are complicit.
Yeah, well said. I have a recommendation. How about we start with our massive war programs, or perhaps corporations and their big tax breaks.
Yep. And there you have it. With that said, I'm out of here. My job. Peace out.